What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Wooly, and we are here for the third and final end of the year list, and it is none other than our top 15 albums of 2017. It's about that time, y'all, for me to let y'all know what were my favorite albums of the year. And this was a difficult list, y'all, because I had to go through all the shit I reviewed this year and really whittle down the 15 albums that I thought were the best that I reviewed and that I enjoyed the most this year. Now, I've already done my honorable mentions and my letdowns and my unreviewed slept on albums and all that shit. So if you ain't seen those videos, definitely check those out. But now this is about the shit that I have reviewed and I've loved the most, and I'm going to give you, of course, my album of the year. So I'm going to do this like I did last year, where I'm going to name off the albums in order of release, and then the last album that I name will be my album of the year. So I'm going to just go ahead and get into this, and the first album on my list goes to Jidenna The Cheap. Now, this dropped early in the year, I think around February, I believe, and this is an album that I really ended up liking a lot. And I really wasn't that much into Jidenna until I heard him perform Long Live the Chief on Luke Cage. That shit was fucking fire. That's what got me to check out the actual video. And then when his album came out, I was thoroughly surprised by how well it was done. Jidenna's got bars. He can rap his ass off, but he can also sing. Bombi was a great song. I love that song, as well as, of course, Long Live the Chief, as well as other songs like 2 Points and White Niggas. I think it was a really good album. And I just think because it came out so early in the year, a lot of people probably just thought of it as an afterthought with everything else that came out during the year. But I think this is an album that was really well done and was definitely one of the best of the year. So Jidenna The Chief, check that shit out if you have not, because it's a hot one. The next album on the list goes to Oddisee The Iceberg, and this is one of the best albums clearly of the year just on the production side. Oddisee is a great producer, but what also makes it good is he's also a great rapper. And you got songs like Really, which is just a dope ass song, and the beat on it is just so good. But then you also have songs like Things and Built by Pictures, and Oddisee is just very visual with his lyrics. He can pretty much paint any kind of picture he wants, and it's a very relatable album. And it's an album that just resonates with you. I mean, it's a very real, just like down to earth album, and Oddisee is that type of dude. So if you ain't heard The Iceberg, it's a cold ass album. The title fucking fits the shit, and definitely check it out. It's another one that came out early in the year, and I think it's skated by with everything else, but I'm not letting that shit skate by because Oddisee, he gave us a good one. The next album on the list goes to Raekwon The Wild, and this is an album that was just so goddamn good and refreshing to hear, especially after what we got with his last album before this, Fila, which was a big disappointment. Raekwon went back to his roots. He gave us that original chef. He cooked up the recipe that we like to eat, and on here he just gave us great songs. I mean, you got This Is What It Comes To. You got the song My Corner with Lil Wayne where they both went off. You also got Marvin, and you got Nothing, and I mean, every song on here was just fucking banging. It was dope, and I just love the production on here. Raekwon sounds hungry, ferocious. He's got those bars that we love, the storytelling that we love, and it's just an album that I think was just, it was one that was wild to listen to, and I enjoyed every moment of it. So definitely check out Raekwon The Wild if you have not, because it is one of the best albums of the year, without question. The next album on the list goes to Kendrick Lamar with Damn. That's right, Damn is not my album of the year, y'all. I mean, but it is a damn good album, and it definitely earned a spot in the top 15. Now, Damn is the album, I mean, we've all heard it. It's one of the biggest albums of the year. I mean, you have, of course, Humble, and you got Element, and you got all the hits. I mean, the whole album is crazy. It plays out as a crazy good story. I think my concept of how it plays backwards is pretty much the rightest and best fucking breakdown of all goddamn time. Watch my review if you don't know. But I think Kendrick delivered another great album, and another album that we can just sit and listen to and break down in so many ways, shapes, and forms. And it's an album that he looked more into himself rather than what's going on in the world, which I think is really cool. And I just think it's a good album, y'all. I mean, it's an album that just really just made a statement, and he really proved the point that he can make a commercially successful album without really jeopardizing his vision or his craft, and he did it. He pulled this shit off, and damn, it was a good album. The next album on the list is a collabo album between Talib, Kweli, and Styles P called The 7. And this is an album, this is a collaboration I've been waiting to happen for years. Like, from the first time I heard Kweli and Styles get on a song together, I knew that they had to do a project together. And all these years later, finally, we got one in The 7, and it is just as good as I expected. It's 7 songs on there. It's like 7 features on there. Everything was revolved around The 7 shit, and it was dope. Beats on here were crazy. Kweli was killing it. Everything on here was just really good, and I just like this collaboration. And hopefully we get another collabo that's a little bit longer, a little bit more full length, but I'm happy with what we got here. Definitely dope. Check it out. The next album on the list goes to none other than Brother Ali with All the Beauty in This Whole Life. And this album is just a beautiful fucking album. It's one of my favorite albums. Ali always comes through with a great album, and this one here is probably his best since Undisputed Truth. I said that in my review that I did with Dead in Hip Hop, which is really, you know, that was one. Yo, if you ain't seen that review, I'll link that. Check it out. That was my first collab with Dead in Hip Hop. And you know, we gotta do another one sometime, y'all. So let's get on that shit. But Ali came through with a really great album. I mean, of course, you got the songs On Light and Dear Black Son and Uncle Uzi Taught Me. I mean, just to name a few. I mean, everything on this album was just done so goddamn well. Great features from Dim Atlas and Rock and Amir Suleiman, who comes in with some great poetry. And I think it's just a great album overall. So if you ain't listening to Brother Ali, All the Beauty in This Whole Life, you missing out because it's some beautiful shit and it's a great album. Check it out. The next album on the list is an album that I did not even expect to like as much as I did, but goddamn it was pure fucking fire. Jarren Benton, the Mink Coat Killer LP. This album is so goddamn dope. The moment that I put this shit on, y'all, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking fire. The beats on here have that classic hip-hop, vintage, boom bap sound with a Wu-Tang twist to it. I mean, he's got a huge Wu-Tang influence on this. It sounds like something that Ghostface or Raekwon would have done production-wise. And then when it comes to the lyrics, Jarren Benton is a fucking assassinating these songs. Bars after bars, rhymes after rhymes, crazy features. And everything just comes together so goddamn well. And with songs like The One and Tears and Cream 17 and the God intro, like, whoo, this album's... I'm sweating thinking about how fire this album is, so definitely check this album out because I know it got slept on, because I know a lot of people didn't even review this shit or talk about this shit, and it's a fucking crime because Jarren Benton killed this fucking album top to bottom. The next album, y'all, was the one in contention for Album of the Year, but it got beat out. But goddamn it was close, and goddamn it, this is still one of my favorite albums that I have heard this year easily. I'm talking about the legend himself, the Jigga Man, JayZ with 444. Now, JayZ, nobody was checking for JayZ. Everybody thought JayZ was pretty much done. Nobody was really caring about another JayZ album. But then he comes out of nowhere with fucking 444, and he gives us his best album since the Black Album, in my opinion. Maybe, no, actually, you know what? I even put this a little bit above American Gangster, because American Gangster was really good. But I gotta say, best album since the Black Album to me. I mean, what more can I say about this album that anybody else hasn't said? The production by No ID, stellar, phenomenal. JayZ, he goes into a new realm of just subject matter where he's talking about what he's going through personally, to his, you know, situation that happened with Beyonce where he cheated, how he feels about family. He's also trying to drop gems about how, you know, he can be more financially responsible and how you can end up like he ends up and not just being some like regular rapper who blows all his money on bullshit, and how you can be able to sustain yourself in this game and have a long career like him, because he wants more people to be able to do that. And it's just an album that I think resonates, and it's gonna age well, and I think it's just an album that really just shows that JayZ, no matter how old he gets, he still has it, he still has his finger on the pulse, and he can still drop a great album even after all this shit he's gone through, all the shit that he's put out in the climate of the music industry. He still finds a way to break through and be on top. And that's what JayZ does, and it's a great fucking album. But it did not make Album of the Year. But it almost did, but it did not. The next album on the list, y'all, is Tyler, the Creator with Flower Boy, or should I say Scumfuck Flower Boy. That's the real title. And this album right here pleasantly surprised me with how good it was. Tyler, the Creator, I always knew was a very talented dude as a producer, as a rapper, just as a composer of music in general, and everything else he does outside of music. This motherfucker as an entrepreneur, he really just does everything to the fullest extent, and he really just is a successful motherfucker on all levels. Now, when it comes to this album, he's really given us probably his best work to date. Like Cherry Bomb, his album before this, I did not like it. I remember I hated the way it sounded as far as the mixing was concerned. It was all over the place. I really just couldn't get into the album, and I think on this album, he gave us a complete 180 because it sounds clean, the instrumentation is amazing, just what he does with the music is amazing, and his subject matter is great too because he's talking about himself, how he's pretty much questioning or he's dealing with his sexuality. You don't know if he's bi or if he's straight. He hints here and there on some songs, but the point about it is he's going through all these internal struggles that he has to just want to get out musically, and he does it in a beautiful and a great and a very focused way. And I think Tyler if he keeps this momentum up with albums like this, he's going to just get better and better because I think his potential is limitless. I mean, everything he does pretty much turns to gold if he keeps his mind to it. And I think with this album right here, it's going to be hard for him to top it on his next one. But if anybody can do it, Tyler can because he has that vision. But it's a dope-ass album. Definitely check it out. Who That Boy, 911, Mr. Lonely. I mean, just to name a couple, but yo, the whole album, fucking fire. The next album goes to Nyck at Night with Nyck at Night. And it's another album that I slept on a little bit. I mean, it took me a while to get to it, but when I did get to it and review it, I was pleasantly surprised. The Pro Era boys, K.R.I.T and Nyck Caution, they came together, they did the damn thing. Beats on here are fucking fire. I think K.R.I.T did all the beats on here, and he does a great job as a producer, but at the same time, his skills as an MC has grown, and he's done a lot better on the beats and on the rhyming side coming together, and he really has just come to his own. And Nyck Caution has always been a dope rapper, and they both have great chemistry together, so I love what they did on this project. And they even incorporated a little bit of Nyck at Night samples in here, which I did appreciate, and then you got songs like All Night and Off the Wall and No One Seems to Care, and it's just, I mean, it's a great fucking project. It's short, only like 26 minutes, but goddamn it, I enjoyed every fucking 26 minutes of that shit because Nyck at Night, all day, all night. The next album on the list wasn't even Granddad approved, y'all, but after listening to it more and more, I grew to like it a lot more, and I gave it the bump up like I did Danny Brown last year, and that goes to the late, great Sean Price with Imperius Rex. Now, this is quote-unquote Sean Price's last album. I mean, unless he's got more posthumous, I'm getting better with that word, y'all, posthumous music, but from what I know, this was actually scrapped together from a lot of Sean Price verses that were just like laying around, and they pretty much constructed this album out of like bits and pieces like a puzzle. And he's got great features on here. You got features from Doom and Prodigy, you got the Wu-Tang come in, even though that song was a little iffy. I grew to like it a little bit more, but it was still a little iffy. I mean, he's got the Boot Camp Clique, Buckshot, everybody from Duck Down on there showing love and support, and it's a great album. I really do like it. I wish that we would have got little things here and there that Sean Price is known for, like some Ninth Wonder or Crisis production, but I did learn to appreciate what we got from this album. And it would be nice if we do get another Sean Price album, but if we do not, and Imperius Rex is the last one, then I'm perfectly fine with that because it is a very, very good album and something that I did enjoy listening to throughout the year and continue checking it out from this point on as well. So check it out, it's dope. R.I.P. to Sean P. The next album on the list came from a group that I was waiting to come back, and when they finally came back, it was just as good as I thought it would be. I'm talking about the Cool Kids with Special Edition Grandmaster Deluxe. Another album that I thought was criminally slept on because this album is so fucking good. The beats on here are fucking crazy. Chuck English is a motherfucking monster. Sir Michael Rocks is doing his damn thing, and pretty much every song on this goddamn album is fire. I mean, you got the Moon Landing, you got Too Smooth with Voicemail. Like, I mean, I've counted myself just singing that shit still to this day. And then you got 2020, Check Out. I mean, everything. They got Hannibal Buress open up the album. They got fucking Travis Barker on there with Break Your Legs, and he's killing it. I mean, everything about this album is just so fucking dope. It's so Cool Kids. And if you ain't heard it, and you're a Cool Kids fan, you fucking up. And if you ain't a Cool Kids fan, you fucking up. So listen to this album, and it will make you a Cool Kids fan because these dudes are fucking dope. Check out this album. Criminally slept on, like I said. You gotta hear it because it's fire. The next album on the list goes to Big K.R.I.T with Forever Is a Mighty Long Time. And this album right here is phenomenal, y'all. I love this album. It's a double album, and it's one of the only double albums where both albums are fucking fire from front to back. I mean, there are a couple songs here and there. Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. Even the songs that were just kind of meh aren't even terrible, and it wasn't even a lot. For the most part, this is like a 95% success rate on this album for a double album for K.R.I.T. K.R.I.T came through with two sides. He gave us the Big K.R.I.T side, and he gave us the Justin Scott side, so he gave us that Big K.R.I.T with the bangers and, you know, that southern shit that we love. And then you got the Justin Scott side, which is more personal and in-depth and with himself. I mean, you got songs like Confetti, Big Bank with T.I. And then you got the Justin Scott intro, which is a beautiful instrumental. And then you got Everlasting and Pay Me in Gold and Mixed Messages on the second half. I mean, there's a lot of great songs. I mean, this album is just so fucking good. K.R.I.T took a long time to get this album done, and I see why, but the results were well worth the time spent doing it. And I just think, like, if I had to rank this, like, you know, I can't even rank it. I mean, it's inching close with 444. Like, this album, 444, were both fighting for album of the year for me, but they both got beat out. But I have to say, like, this is at least in my top 3 easily because K.R.I.T just came in and killed it. So shout out to K.R.I.T. Good job knocking out a double album and doing it the right fucking way, because that shit's not easy, but you did that shit perfectly. The next album on the list, y'all, goes to Statik Selektah with 8. And even though I'm not on the shit, that's okay, because it's still one of my favorite albums of the year. I mean, Statik Selektah always comes through with great albums. He always brings together all these artists who you wouldn't expect to work together on this type of production, that real hip-hop sound, but it works out. I mean, when you get Statik Selektah doing a song with Wiz Khalifa and 2 Chainz and it sounds amazing, that's the power of Statik Selektah. When you get Be Real and Everlast together doing a crazy fucking song like Shake 'Em Up, that's what Statik Selektah can do. And then you got this Prodigy song, which is fucking fire. And he's also got Joyner Lucas killing it. He's also got Joey Badass, of course, and Action Bronson, The Usual Suspects. And not to mention the Run the Jewels track. I mean, put Jewels on it. I mean, he can just get anybody he fucking wants, apparently, except for me, on a goddamn album, and it'll come out fire. I mean, there's something for everybody, but if you just are a real hip-hop head or just who appreciates good hip-hop music, you are going to love this Statik Selektah album. 8 is dope. 8 is great. And 8... even though I'm a little late, I wish I would have been on, fuck it, just fuck it, okay? But it's good, it's really fucking good, so listen to the shit, it's fucking fire. And here we are, y'all, at the last album, and this is what I consider my album of the year, and this album right here, it was teetering. Like I said, it was this album, JayZ, and KRIT a little bit, but it was basically this album and JayZ, and I had to think long and hard about this one, to how this album made me feel, how much I enjoyed this album, the replay value of this album compared to the others, and it was just no comparison after I factored in all those things to which album that I enjoyed the most and was satisfied the most with this year. And that goes to none other. She deserves it too. Rapsody, Laila's Wisdom. I mean, it's a beautiful album, y'all. The album is just so goddamn good. Like, I've been waiting for this Rapsody album since I first came upon listening to her first album that I heard, which was The Idea of Beautiful. And I've just went through her career for those 5 years, listening to mixtapes and EPs and everything she's done. And I've just seen the progression and the growth, and I knew that she was gonna be a big deal way before like a lot of other people jumped on this boat now, because now that she's doing big things with the Grammy nods and, you know, she's got the co-signs and whatnot. Before all that, I knew Rapsody was gonna be a fucking problem. And so good to see her getting her just due now. She's got a long road ahead of her, a long career ahead of her, I know that. But this album right here is just, it's exactly what she needed. The production on here done by the Soul Council, Ninth Wonder, you know, Eric G, Crisis, Knots, everybody who came through and just gave her the great soundscape to just do her art the way that she needs to be done. It couldn't have been anybody else to help her do this, because they know her and that sound, it just fits her so well. And lyrically, Rapsody is sharp, she's got it, but at the same time, she gives us some real relatable stuff, some stuff that really just focuses on her. I mean, she gives us a little bit of everything, and she does it so well and so passionately that you believe everything that she says. I mean, the opening song, Laila's Wisdom, every time I hear that shit, it feels like the same time I've heard it the first time. I get chills, it's so goddamn good. Power with Kendrick Lamar, come on now, just that song right there. And she didn't even get washed by Kendrick. Kendrick couldn't even wash her. That's how good she is. And I'm just saying, like, I mean, Chrome, come on, it's coming in June, next June. I mean, hopefully, or you hope you got it already. A roller coaster jam called Love. Come on, the second half of that song, oh my God, come on, like seriously, you should know, like, Jesus coming. I mean. It's just so many great moments on this album, and like literally, I want to listen to this album again right now just by talking about it. Rapsody really came through and exceeded all my expectations for what I wanted her to give me with an album. Like I wanted her to give me a great album, but I didn't know she was going to give me an album this fucking great. And literally, every time I listen to it, it just gets better and better and better. And it's going to be one of them albums that I just can't get tired of. I cannot get tired of this album. I've tried to, and it don't work. I've listened to it so much, and I still want to keep listening to the shit. So Rapsody, thank you for giving us a great album. Thank you for giving me my album of the year. I will continue listening to this into 2018, and whatever you dropped in, I don't know if it's going to be as good as, I mean, you got a hard act to follow with this album, but I'm sure you can do it. I have faith in you. I have faith in you because, I mean, you know, everything you drop is fire. And there it is, y'all. There is my top 15 albums of 2017. Let me know what you think of the list. If you agree, you disagree, what are your favorites? Give me your list in the comments. You know how we do this damn thing. And now 2018 is about to be upon us, and what games and series and movies and albums are we gonna get? Granddad Chicano, I'm sorry, it's coming. It's fire. as well as a lot of other things I've been hearing about. I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to review it when I get to it and when it comes out. But I think 2018 is going to be a good year, y'all. I got a good feeling, a real good feeling. I could be wrong, but I'm most likely going to be right. So, follow me into the year. Let's get this channel up to 5,000. Why? I feel like I should already be there. So, there's a goal. 2018, 5,000 subs within the first few months. But let me, shit, why not? By the time next year this shit's going down, I better be at least at 10K. I'm just saying, we got to make it happen. Somebody help me out, because this got to go down. But I hope you enjoyed everything I've reviewed this year, all the content. I hope that you enjoy anything that I've been doing, and I appreciate all the support and love you guys give me every year, and it ain't gonna stop. So let's go. 2018, the Granddad's ready. I hope you are. So until next time, I'll take my leave. Granddad, top Fiddeen of 2017, and that's it. That's gonna close out the year. Happy New Year, everybody. Have a good time. See y'all in 2018. I'm out.